Hey, good evening, everybody. Lawrence Michael, Operations Manager for Air Quality Remediation, making our weekly update video. We just started a commercial mold remediation project. As always, on day one, we walk through, show you guys everything we have going on, walk through our containment setup, our negative air pressure setup, what our scope of work is going to be. And then, as always, we'll make another video at the end of the project so you can see what's going on. Now, this is going to be a pretty long, extended project. As I said, it is a commercial mold remediation. It is in multiple offices at this facility. So what we'll do, since we're just starting this project today, at the end of this specific office mold remediation project, we'll make a video so you guys can see what the finished product looks like. And then we'll just continue on down the line making day one and last day tutorials so you guys can see all the different offices. But there are about 15 total, so it will be a pretty lengthy process. So as always, we'll start with our containment. We block off the affected area from the unaffected area. As always, we have our containment door. On the containment door, we have our caution and do not enter tape, as well as our warning signage saying authorized personnel only, hazardous material decon, and all of our respective phone numbers and our office phone number if anybody needs to get in touch with us in case of an emergency. We also have all of our paperwork. This is one set of paperwork going over the types of hazards and the checks that we've had to go through to make sure that all of our potential hazards have been mitigated. We also have another set of documents here. I won't go through and open everything up. I don't want to take too much of your time. It is also 12:30 in the morning, so we're about to get out of here. But inside the package is our JSA, job safety analysis, toolbox safety form, and an emergency procedure form. All three of which just go into the potential hazards that you're likely to run into, ways to mitigate those hazards, and then what to do in case of an emergency while on site. So let's take a look inside door number one. So inside our containment door, this is our decon chamber. I'll give you a better look from inside the actual affected area. We haven't started any remediation yet. We do have our negative air machine set up, so it is a little louder. But there isn't any risk of cross-contamination because we actually haven't started the remediation yet. Mold being a living thing, it has defense mechanisms just like any other living thing. And once you start messing with it, once you start aggravating it, moving things around, trying to vacuum it or trying to wipe it or physically messing with it, that's when it'll release those spores, those mycotoxins that'll make you sick. So this is our decon chamber. So the way it works, this is our affected area inside the office, and when the technicians are in here, they're fully suited up in their Tyvek suits and their full face respirators. When they're done working, when it's the end of the shift or it's lunchtime, they'll go into this decon chamber. They'll remove their Tyvek suit, remove their full face respirator, their nitrile gloves, things like that. They'll HEPA vacuum themselves off, sanitize themselves off with an antimicrobial solution before exiting the decontamination chamber and going outside the containment door into the unaffected area. That'll keep any contaminants that are inside this room. It'll keep them isolated to here. It'll prevent any cross-contamination into the rest of the facility. As always, we have our negative air machine, which is a HEPA negative air machine, high efficiency particle air machine as always, and it's ducted out of a window, so that way we're creating that negative air pressure inside the space. Over here we have our HEPA vacuum as always. We have our encapsulant over there, so let's give a quick look at what we have going on. So above these drop ceiling tiles, we have a large amount of mold growth there. It's all over the insulation, and it's not isolated to this office, it's all over. There's a large amount of mold growth here. As I said, it's all over. So maybe what would be best to do is for me to make a video tomorrow after we remove all of these ceiling tiles. That's the first step, is to remove all these ceiling tiles so we can gain access to all the mold affected surfaces above the ceiling tiles. So maybe I'll make a video tomorrow night showing all the affected surfaces that are above the drop ceiling tiles so you can get a good look. And then I'll make another video at the very end of the project so you can see what it looks like now that everything's been completed. So we zipper down our decontamination chamber. Then we come outside our containment door and we zipper that down as well. So now everything's sealed. It can stay closed up for the night until we come back tomorrow evening. Same thing inside here. We walk inside our containment door. We have our decontamination chamber set up. All the articles, all the personal items, things like that are covered up inside the office. But it's going to be the same issue above the drop ceiling tiles. There's a large amount of mold growth here as well. So again, I think it'll be more beneficial for me to start the process, pull the drop ceiling tiles down, and then give you a good look at what's going on above. But the cause of all this mold growth above the drop ceiling tiles are these small ductless air conditioning units. A lot of offices, a lot of commercial spaces have these small ductless air conditioning units. And if they're not insulated, they really condensate. They cause a lot of high relative humidity issues, a lot of moisture issues, and then that leads to mold growth. So you can see right inside here, there's mold growth on the actual unit itself. And there's a large amount above the actual drop ceiling tiles because that's where the unit actually is. And like I said, with all that condensation up there, with all that high relative humidity up there, it really causes a lot of mold growth. So, like I said, we're gonna get out of here. It's 12:30 in the morning. We'll be back tomorrow evening to continue our mold remediation project. I'll give you guys some more looks once we get some more work done. We get the drop ceiling tiles pulled out, and then when we complete the project just like normal. As always, if anybody has any indoor air quality concerns, if any of your commercial properties or facilities have any of these types of issues, if they have any of these small ductless air conditioning units in the office space or the facility, definitely let us know. We offer free visual assessments, so it doesn't cost you guys any money for me to come out, do a visual assessment, see what's going on, see if we can identify any mold growth issues, any other contaminants, or if there is a condensation issue at any of these units that could potentially cause a future mold growth issue. Definitely give us a call. Look us up on all of our social media platforms. As always, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.